as any superhero you want, to drive playable vehicles, to partake in different things that are going to be happening in different environments. And the characters actually have authentic voiceovers, which are really cool too. If you've seen the trailer, it's available on our radio forum and on our Twitter, twitter.com/JonathanClarke1. It runs for about 45 seconds. Where you're going to be able to see the trailer if you don't have access to a computer or internet capability is going to be on a television network that specializes in children's programming. I know here in Canada they've been airing the trailer quite often on youth television, and I'm sure throughout the United States they've been airing it on a lot of children television networks as well. But that's where you're going to see the bulk of the trailers aired, and you can find them on YouTube and other video sharing websites like Google Video. I threw the video up in our radio forum some time ago, and the video for the trailer is also available from our Twitter account. I'm trying to figure out what villains are going to be in the game. I hope it's a variety of villains coming at you. I know the Joker was in the trailer, and he's virtually been in every Batman game over the last 6 or 7 Batman games. It's all been about Batman versus Joker. Now, whatever the concept is of this game, mind you, I haven't played it. I know that superheroes align themselves with Batman. Whatever the concept is of this video game, Joker is the main villain, and it's going to have a Batman versus Joker type feel to it, kind of like a Batman Arkham City and Batman Arkham Asylum had on the PS3. So we're going to have similarities from other Batman games thrown in there, but this Joker looks really sadistic, and you have to wonder what's going through his diabolical mind. I hope a cast of very familiar villains also join Joker. And the interesting thing that I'm wondering about with this video game is it just going to be specifically Batman villains? Are there going to be villains who have tortured other superheroes like Superman or the Hulk in this game? Are a variety of different villains from DC and Marvel Comics going to be joining the Joker in his mission to disable superheroes like Batman and Superman? We've seen Capcom versus Marvel. We have seen Superman versus Batman in Mortal Kombat style video games, but we have never seen Superman and Batman align together in a story mode type game. So this is going to be really fun. Really looking forward to finding out what the cast of villains are going to incorporate and what they're going to be offering to the game. A couple of screenshots, you'll find those on IGN.com, another video game review website. You'll also find summaries and reviews of the video game scattered all throughout the internet. I'm not expecting it to be the hottest selling Batman video game of the series that we have seen ever since the early 90s by any means, but it's going to sell, especially between the age demographic of maybe 5 to 15 years of age. I am excited to play it because just looking at the animation in the game, that's one thing that really jumps out at me from the trailer that you can see at the bottom of our radio forum along on our Twitter page at twitter.com/JonathanClarke1. The animation really jumps out at me, and if there's one award given at the Video Game Awards on Spike TV this year or from some video game award show, it should be to the animation team of Lego Batman 2 because they've really gone above and beyond the requirements of an animation team. Final Fantasy animation teams for games like Resident Evil. Another one that really jumps out at me would have to have been what are some other games with fantastic animation? Metal Gear Solid. They definitely always will win awards, but I think that this Lego Batman video game of the previous Lego Batman video game should win an award for animation, because definitely the animation has improved since the release of the original Lego Batman, which was also available on every major video game console. I think that this animation is a step up from what we had in other Batman video games. It's not as good as Batman Arkham City's animation by any means, because it has some kind of a cartoonistic feel to it, like all the Lego video games we've had in the past, but it is a step up from what we had. I mean, it's a long way from Super Nintendo graphics. Now, you are going to get Super Nintendo graphics in the DS version of the game because the megabytes of that video game cartridge are not very detailed. The video game graphics are really going to jump out at you if you play the Xbox 360 version or the PS3 version, and those are the versions of this game that I'm going to recommend. It's not a marketing strategy by any means, but if you're looking for a video game with amazing graphics, Definitely the PS3 or the Xbox 360 version is the way to go because they're produced on Blu-ray imaging discs. Of course, we have gone from compact discs on the original PlayStation to DVDs on PS2, and now Blu-ray, the latest way to transmit images on the PS3 and Xbox 360 video game consoles. There's also going to be a lot of downloadable content available for Lego Batman 2. We have seen a lot of downloadable content available for every Batman video game, and this one's going to be packed with a lot of downloadable content. I'm also going to be interested in finding out if there's going to be any involvement from Robin in this video game. Batman Arkham City really disappointed me with the involvement of Robin. It seemed like he was there for just 2 minutes, and for the rest of the video game, after introducing himself to Batman on the top of a roof in Gotham City, he communicates with Batman through the entire video game via his Bat communicator. So, it really let me down that DC didn't make the decision to have Robin have a bigger involvement in the game. It seemed like Catwoman had a bigger involvement in the game than Robin ever did. I'm really interested in finding out if Robin is going to join the team of superheroes from DC and potentially Marvel to align himself with Batman. We have seen him align himself with Batman in the past, but the thing was, video games like Batman and Robin, which was released on the original PlayStation back in '97 to promote Batman and Robin the movie, which was a theatrical hit, but was one of the unfortunate Batman movies to bomb, and then DC made the decision to not include Robin with any further Batman movies. Big confliction and big debate whether or not Robin is going to be involved with The Dark Knight Rises coming out this month. But because Batman and Robin bombed theatrically 13, 14 years ago, they've made the decision not to include Robin with this movie or any Batman movie to follow it. And it seems like they've done the same in the video games, because I think the last video game that actually had Robin have any involvement with Batman had to have been Batman and Robin on the original PlayStation. Really let me down, and I hope that Robin does have some involvement with Batman in this game, because it will be the first video game that Robin will have some significant involvement. I don't call the involvement he had in Arkham City anything to make a big deal out of, but it really disappointed me. And the weird thing about it was he had so little involvement in the game, and he was a piece of merchandise because they released an action figure for Robin for Batman Arkham City. And the thing was, in the 2 minutes he was in the game, he looked so cool. He had the hood over his head, he had a sword, and he comes in and says Batman for 2 minutes, says, "I'm here if you need me," and he just communicates with Batman through the entire game via voiceover through the Bat communicator. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Not only are we wondering if Robin's going to have some involvement in Lego Batman 2, but we're going to be wondering until the movie is released if he's going to be having any involvement with the Batman movie. But from what I'm getting, he's not, because Batman and Robin bombed theatrically. I still think Batman and Robin was a huge hit because Mr. Freeze was in it, Poison Ivy was in it, a lot of Batman villains making their theatrical debuts. But the theatrical debut of those villains, like Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze, was the only theatrical appearance they would make, because the film bombed entirely. Everything from Robin to Mr. Freeze to Poison Ivy just didn't add up. But they would continue to be featured in Batman video games. It's just Robin hasn't had any significant involvement. So if Robin is involved in Lego Batman 2, it will be a huge plus for me, and it really will entice me to purchase the game, because he has been an important part of the Batman saga ever since Burt Reynolds played him for the 60s action shot series. So I think Robin is just as important, equally as important as any Batman character or any Batman villain. The thing that also really jumps out at me too is that the game actually has a story mode. I have not made a habit out of playing Lego video games. Now, I've seen various Lego video game titles, everything from Harry Potter to Pirates of the Caribbean on virtually every video game console through the years. But I had no information on what the games were actually all about. Now, these are video games with Lego animation, with actual story modes, and authentic voiceovers. The thing that really jumped out at me was the fact that this one has a full-length story mode, and Batman actually has to coexist with superheroes you never thought Batman would possibly ever align himself with. Because of the circumstances that befall Batman in the video game, he has no choice but to align himself with some of the most legendary superheroes, everyone from Superman to superheroes you thought would never have a video game released on themselves are back for this one, so it's really, really cool. We are inviting our fans on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube who are listening to us via our YouTube channel, via our Twitter, or on our Facebook to tell us what you think of this whole Batman thing. We want to know if you played it. We want to know if you have any screenshots, any videos you want to include along with this video game review. I have high expectations for this video game. I'm not expecting it to be a video game that sells out everywhere it is available, because the promotion is not there for it. That's one big thing with this game that will really turn you off from purchasing it and making a decision to purchase the game. It's going to be about $59 in tax. With tax, it's going to be about $67.50, something like that. It's going to be the average price of a new release, and then eventually the price will gradually drop. It'll go from $59.99 to $49.99, $39.99, $29.99, and then end up in a $20 bin at your local Walmart. But it's not a game that is going to be successful because the promotion is not there and it's not being financially backed the way I would want it to be backed. I really want to see more promotion done for this video game. Virtually every website's going to have a review. Every website's going to have screenshots like IGN and different cheat websites. But the promotion is just not there. Just airing it on television networks that specialize in children's programming is not really getting the game over. You need to be airing it on various different television networks with all types of different programming so that the trailer will be seen by virtually everyone from all walks of life. If you don't have that for a video game, then there is a possibility that the game will bomb. Lego Batman must have been a huge hit because they wouldn't have released a sequel. This is the anticipated sequel to Lego Batman, so if you played Lego Batman and you're familiar with that game, then you have nothing really to get used to with Lego Batman 2. If you're playing this for the first time, it's going to be new to you. The novelty's going to be there. You're not really going to know much about it because there's not really much promotion being done. So before you purchase it, look up different resources on the internet, look up different screenshots, different videos via YouTube would be a huge source for that stuff. But definitely make a judgmental decision before you purchase it, and that's one thing that I always strongly advise with a video game review. Batman video games in the past have been excellent, and through the years, games have basically improved for Batman because Batman has always been looked at as a legendary figure. And with Rise of the Dark Knight coming out, there's going to be a ton of merchandise, there's going to be a ton of promotion done for that film, so I think it ties in well with the whole Dark Knight Rises